Hey everybody, Phantom Shadow here, and welcome back to more Root Film. We're investigating the circumstances around Ito's brother's death. Because, Hitoa noticed that the time on the note did not match their time of death. Or their agreed time of death. In a reversal from the Hoshiai festival, the grounds are completely devoid of people. I feel like visiting a shrine on quiet days gives you more of a blessing. If I were a god, it'd be easier to remember a few prayers. Yagumo imagines himself as a god as he puts a 10 yen coin into the offertory box. It's tough going up the torii corridor no matter how many times I do it. As Yagumo gasps for air, Magari and Hitoa just casually chat. Do young people just have it easy? Though he's not much older than them, Yagumo begins to think like an old man. Oh, I forgot. Forgot what? Washihara Hachimangu's famous for horseback archery, so we should film the horse track. You're still up for location scouting, huh? Of course I am, just kinda forgot. Honestly, I kinda forgot our original goal too. Well anyway, it's close by, so let's go visit. As per Yagumo's suggestion, they head towards the archery horseback grounds to film. We've got enough material here, so we don't have any particular business. It's got a lot of interesting locations though. Definitely want to include it in this scenario. The incident was a big distraction, but for once Yagumo remembers to think of plot ideas. Once they're back at Yoshinoya, Yagumo quickly instructs Kanade. Kanade, can you make a backup of all the footage we filmed so far? Mm-hmm. While we're waiting, can I take a shower? Me too. Walked up a sweat, and my feet are swollen also. Your feet look the same to me. Shut up. Magari and Hitoa get up. Everyone rest and relax as they wait for the backup to complete. They head down the back streets to Seiya Ito's house, only for an angry voice to shatter the silence. Shut up, how long do you plan on tailing me? Please calm down, Ito. Like I said, leave me alone. How many times do I gotta repeat myself? Now, no need to shout. We're investigating your brother's case as thoroughly as we can. So if you remember anything, please tell us. There's nothing for me to tell you. How the hell am I supposed to know about my estranged brother? It seems the detectives are holding another interrogation. Despite the interrogation, the detectives make no progress with Sakio Ito, who only scowls so they leave with a bow. Those two detectives are still here? And it looks like they're still investigating. Maybe they're not quite satisfied with the letters in the same way that we aren't. Maybe. Which means they're maybe holding on to some info that doesn't fit with the lover's suicide theory. Hopefully we can get the detectives to tell us what that info is. Yagumo calls out to Ito, who stands by the house, glaring the way the detectives left. Hello. You guys, what do you need? We thought we'd pay respects to your younger brother. Not like you even knew him. I don't need your sympathy. Besides, the funeral's for close relatives only. Please respect our privacy. I see. Sorry for disturbing you when you're busy. Looks like the detectives were here too. Ito's eye twitches at Yagumo's words before he makes his irritated response. You guys were spying on me again? Sorry, seems like we keep bumping into each other. Those bastards treat me like I'm a suspect. I wish they'd tell me why they treat someone whose brother just committed suicide like that. While having multiple police interviews is normal, I wouldn't worry about it too much. That doesn't make me feel any better. That's totally understandable. Yagumo responds gently to Ito's open frustration. Act sympathetic and convince others to talk. Since Megari's seen Yagumo in action many times, only she has caught on to his tricks. Has Hatoya come by? Hatoya? Yeah, the local doctor. We met him at Kuramochi's. He was apparently a Kari's high school classmate. So, he was yours and Seiya's classmate too. Has he come to pay respects? Oh, that Hatoya. You used to call him Cuckoo. He hasn't been here. Not that I know, at least. Maybe just missed him. You haven't seen him yet? Well, he was in love with the Karis. That might be why he paid his respects there. Memorized. Hatoya liked Akari. He was in love with her? As in recently? Hell no, back in high school, but to be fair, Akari was a real beauty, so lots of guys liked her. I see. It'd be hard for someone to get someone like her out of mind. Maybe he still liked her even after she got married. Oh, I could see that happening. Crushes you've never had the chance to date can haunt you. By the way, what was he like towards Akari in high school? Nothing in particular. Did he not have an interest in the girl who stood out among her class? He thought nothing of smart girls, not his type. I see. Considering this guy's personality, I guess that's no surprise. Okay, I think that's all we can do here. Yagumo speaks at a distance from Ito's house, where he already knows Sakio can't hear. What do you think of that conversation? Which one? The part about detectives suspecting him? Yeah. I bet a lot of people would get paranoid if they were interrogated over and over, so he must be overthinking things. When repeatedly interviewed by police, some people may think they're the ones being suspected, so he may just be jumping at shadows. I don't know, the twins that look exactly alike, and twin swap tricks are common mystery trope. So the police must suspect him because of that. True, you do see that a lot. Yeah, like maybe the one who died was actually the older brother and Seiya's the killer? Normally, the victim's decapitated in that case. With a simple hanging like this case, the dental records would give it away. You got a point. So maybe they faked a switch, and so it was actually the younger Seiya who died after all. That's not even a twist anymore, Hatoa. Oh, right. Okay, forget about the radio calisthenics. This girl's a real airhead. Over their 3 days together, Yagumo's mental image of Hatoa has slowly been overwritten. As Yagumo ponders, Hatoa suddenly claps her hands and speaks up. What if Miss Kuramochi was actually cheating with the older brother? Huh? What if she actually liked Seiya, but Sakio switched places and pretended to be his younger brother so he can go out with her? She thought she was going out with the younger one, but one day she noticed the switch and had to get her revenge on Sakio. What the heck? That's a scary thought. Toei, your theory's way too scary. It's just a theory. Game theory. It's almost a psychological horror plot. Scary. But if it's possible, it suddenly complicates this case's relationships. There's something I want to check in that regard. Ito's house has gotten quiet and devoid of human presence. Nobody's around. Should we try to ring the bell? His brother might still be there. Yagumo tries ringing the bell several times. No matter how long they wait, there's no sign of anyone. Alright, Ito's house is behind here, isn't it? Maybe the owner can tell me something about Seiya. With that thought in mind, Yagumo turns to the owner. Excuse me, were you close with the late Seiya, Ito? Me? Not really. He wasn't exactly sociable. Oh. If you want to know more about him, why don't you try asking Fundoya? He often bought incense here, apparently. Fundoya? You mean Fundoya Shichi Aiman Mercantile House? Exactly, that's the place. You know about that place, Magari? It's a Sawano tourist attraction. I put it on the list for location scouting, but forgot about it due to the whole mess. Perfect. Let's go visit the shop then. Roger, I'll make an appointment. Magari immediately makes a call as they leave Yoshinaga Rice Store. Director, do we have business here? Well, I wanted to double check that switcheroo theory, so I thought I'd ask the accessory guy. You mean how I said it could have been Sakio Ito who went out with Miss Kuramochi? I know I said it, it's just a fun theory. I don't think it's actually right. Everything's possible. Narrow down possibilities and eventually you'll reveal the truth. We take our eyes off him for a second and he's starting to look real feminine. No, that woman's just a different person from the guy yesterday. As they talk to each other in front of the stall, the shopkeeper cheerfully calls out to them. What's up? What you talking about? We bought accessories the other day and we want to see the shopkeeper who was here. Him? He went out for lunch. He'll probably be back once he's done with his break. What did you need him for? If it's returns or complaints, please refrain. No, there's just something we want to ask him about. I see. In that case, just come back later. I'll tell him. Yeah, will do. Okay. Whoa, what a nice house. As Studio Yagumo arrives for their appointment, a well-mannered couple greets them. Once inside the tatami room, the visitors stare in wonder at the historic atmosphere. This house was built in KI 6, 1853. Its residents have taken good care of it since. You often see old houses used for farms, but it's rare to see one as a mercantile house. True. As a result, we've been designated as a tangible cultural property. It's amazing. But is it okay for us to be here? Please don't worry. In fact, we offer guest tea ceremonies with a garden view here. Tea ceremonies? Yes, tea culture is quite developed here since Sawano promoted tea in the Edo period. This place seems so historic. I'm losing sense of my time. I know, right? Care to see something interesting? The husband pulls out an account book from a chest, with held record written on the cover. An old artifact with the likes of which Yagumo has seen in period dramas and Edo artwork. Held record? That's kind of scary name. It's an old record of loan debts. So it certainly was scary to the borrowers. With that, he flips through the account book. As Yagumo looks on with great curiosity, he notices some familiar words. Does that say Kuramochi? Yes, they owned a lot of land in the Edo period, so they must have had some business transaction. So I guess they were influential even back then. Yeah, even 2 generations ago in the Showa era, they owned the mountain forest behind their house. 2 generations ago? So what about now? Well, I don't know. The owner gave a vague answer. He probably doesn't want to divulge someone else's financial status, so Yagumo doesn't press onward. Excuse me, there's something I'd like to ask. What is it? It's about the recently departed Seiya Ito. Oh. He was a suicide victim in a small town. It's only natural the whole town would know. When a name comes up, pity fills the couple's faces. The poor lad, he was so young. He would often purchase incense from us, since quite a serious fellow, that one. Incense? Yeah, severe asthma gave him many sleepless nights, so he used sleep-enhancing incense. Phrase memorized. Seiya bought him sleeping incense for his severe asthma. Asthma? Was it that bad? Yes, he would have attacks so bad it was painful to watch. I see. The accessory peddler did say the man thought to be Seiya Ito wore a mask. Was it for asthma? Or was it to conceal his face? To think two people would die of strange causes on the same day. What's going on? Indeed, Taiko Dani Inari seems mad too. What about Taiko Dani Inari? Nothing. Alright. Is the stall open today? Yo man, came to buy something again? No, just wanted to ask a bit more about the couple you told us about yesterday. More? But like, as I said yesterday, that was like half a year ago, man. So, you said the man was wearing a mask, right? That I do remember, no doubt about it. So, did he have any sort of obvious symptoms, like an asthma attack? Oh right, he did have a coughing fit, I remember now. I totally do, man. Really? His back, like, hunched over from pain, dude. This woman tried comforting him. That was probably like an asthma attack, huh? I know asthmatics who, like, suffer the same way. Thanks. That clears one thing up. Thank you so much. That like it, man? Yeah, probably. So, Studio Yagumo steps away from the stall and huddles up for a discussion. Definitely, seems like it is Seiya who is dating Miss Kuramochi. Sakio is not an asthmatic after all. Well, even if there was a switch, I doubt he'd take his acting that far. What's wrong, director? Coughing fit. Why does that seem familiar? What was it? Can't remember. Yagumo scratches his head and tries tugging at the tangled threads of memory inside. As the others look on in concern, his brain flashes back to the events leading up to today. Toa's radio calisthenics, the scuffle between Sakio and Kuramochi, the discovery of Miss Kuramochi's body, and finally, I see, back then. Yagumo suddenly shouts and pops open his eyes. Don't shock me like that. What's wrong, director? The Hoshiai Festival. When we were shooting at the Hoshiai Festival, we were filming in front of the Yoshinaga rice store, and there's a guy coughing, remember? Ah. Kuramochi gave him a warning. Him, that was Seiya Ito, wasn't it? Then maybe Kuramochi wasn't just warning him about his coughing. You mean, Kanade? Did you catch the incident on film? Great. Let's go check the inn and check the footage. Yagumo impatiently leaves the studio. Back in Yoshinoya, Studio Yagumo checks the Heron dance footage. Since the files have already been spilled, they easily find the scene in question. How is it? You're right, director. Look, the guy Kuramochi's talking to just looks like Sakio, but with a mask and different hair. At this time, Kuramochi definitely talked to Seiya Ito. Phrase memorized. Kuramochi talked with Seiya Ito on the day of the Hoshiai Festival. So that was really Seiya Ito, huh? The estimated time of death was between 4 and 6, but this footage was filmed at 4:50, so he had to have died after that. Yeah, so right before he died, he talked with Kuramochi, but what did they talk about? Damn, if only we could hear the conversation. Is there anything you can do about that, Megari? No way. Not with the shotgun mic pointed away and at a distance with them whispering like that. Okay, guess it's time to bring out the big guns. Megari, it's time to show off your special skill. Lip reading, go. Roger that. Megari presses the replay bar and seriously stares at the screen. Tension fills the van. That ain't no special skill of mine. Figures. Okay, I know I joined in on the joke, but please don't be ridiculous. Sorry. Megari and Yagumo's shoulders slump. Beside them, Hitoa suddenly leans in and points at the screen. Pause it right there. What's wrong? I noticed something. Several decorative streamers can be seen around the dancers. Pretty sure the streamers in the Hoshier Festival symbolize Orihime's threads. Not that it's got anything to do with the incident. Look at Kuramochi's hand. Is he holding something? You're right, it looks like he's showing it to Seiya. Reacting to what they said, Megari zooms in. 2 times, 3 times. Everyone gasped. That looks like exactly the accessory Miss Kuramochi was wearing. Put them side by side, look. So this lines up with the printed... She lines up the printed picture of Miss Kuramochi's accessory next to the screen. Side by side, the similarity is too clear. Kuramochi's got the accessory his wife got from Seiya Ito, and he's shoving it in the man's face. Is he telling him, I know you two are cheating? Even if he is, the accessories from that shop are all handmade and one of a kind, remember? So how did Kuramochi have it this time when it was on the wife's body when she died? Maybe he gently put it back on her neck when he discovered the body? That means Shiba's complicit, and they both went to her room at the same time. She doesn't look like the type to be complicit in a case like that, you know? You're right. Yagumo and Megari furrow their eyebrows as they ponder the new, inexplicable truth. Hitoa raises her hand. May I share my opinion? Go ahead. Well, I've got a theory, and it might have something to do with Kuramochi's finger rash. How so? Someone I know has this hobby, you see. I see, that's certainly a possibility. I like to get some proof, but Dr. Hitoya said that he figured out what it was, so I got no choice but to ask him. I don't think he'll divulge private patient information. Normally he wouldn't, but if my hunch is correct, he's got a weakness we can use to make him talk. Weakness? We just abuse that weakness, then. That's not a good look on your face. It's a little scary. Studio Yagumo walks into the clinic. Thanks to the map Megari put on her phone before the incident, they easily find it. The door's closed with a sign saying no exams. No exams, guess we'll have to come back. Seems Hitoya's on break until afternoon. Exams begin. Studio Yagumo gives up and leaves for now. Tokima is at Yasaka Shrine. He's slowly moving towards the main building, perhaps shooting footage with his camera. Doing cameraman work today, Tokima? Yeah, well, Ito's my writer and he's busy dealing with his brother's death, so I'm doing the cameraman work for now. Does Ito normally do it? Yeah, he's more skilled than I am. Tokima rummages through his shoulder bag. He pulls out a magazine. There's an article from last month's issue. He opens up to a certain page and shows it to Studio Yagumo. The writer's credit does indeed say Sakio Ito. Right. did all of the writing and photography for the article Live the Legend of Ura in Kibi. This photo of Ki Castle has such a dynamic composition, doesn't it? Sure does. What do you think, Kanade? Good. Kanade gives Magari a deep nod in agreement. Though he uses a different medium as a cameraman, Kanade can vouch for Sakio Ito's skill. He's got a few people problems, but with his skill, I can see why he's a valued writer. Tokima's at Yasaka Shrine peering into an LCD monitor of his digital camera. Tokima, are you checking out your photos? Yeah, I'm checking out what I just shot, but is there a problem? It's just that my shots seem to be a bit lacking compared to Ito's. I don't know what's off. Then, would you like some advice from Kanade? Video and still photography may differ, but there's gotta be at least some that overlap in know-how. Yes, please, that would be a big help. For a while, Studio Yagumo, mostly Kanade, gives Tokima some photography advice. Whoa, excuse me. As Yagumo enters Kuramochi Mansion, he nearly runs into Hotoya on his way out. You're the guest from yesterday. I'm Yagumo from Studio Yagumo. We have business relations with Kuramochi. I see. You're here to visit him? Is he in? But unfortunately, he's resting right now, as he feels unwell. Came to deliver medicine, but I couldn't see him, so I handed it off to Miss Shiba. I see. Is the medicine for Kuramochi's finger rash? I couldn't figure out the cause yesterday, but I finally got it and wrote a prescription. The cause was he stung by a bug? It wasn't a bug, it was an allergy. What sort of allergy? That's classified information, sorry. Right, of course. Hotoya smiles and nods before he bids farewell. Shiba's feeding the carp in the garden. So, it's your job to feed the carp now? Yes, the professor was never interested in them, so now that his wife passed away, it's my job. Everyone falls awkwardly silent. But then Shiba decides to speak up. Have you heard the rumor in town? What rumor? I haven't heard anything in particular. We haven't heard anything in particular, right, Director? There's a rumor? Several people have been talking about it since yesterday, so I'm quite curious. What sort of rumor was it? I'll tell you, but don't laugh, okay? Okay. Then, you see, a will-o-wisp appeared at Taiko Dani Inari Shrine. Memorize? Huh? Will-o-wisp? That's quite intriguing, but if it's legit, I'd like to get it on camera. When was it seen? Apparently the night Miss Kuramochi died. Late at night, near Taiko Dani Inari Shrine, Torii Corridor, a will-o-wisp flashed in pure darkness. For about 10 minutes, it flashed in the middle of the Torii Corridor and disappeared. Yagumo tries to mentally visualize Shiba's words. Underneath the pitch-black sky of Sawano Castle's mountains, like a giant lump of coal, the Torii Corridor transforms into a staircase from the spirit world. A ghostly light rises from below. Feels too real to be a dream, as if it was a living theory and folklore of Sawano. That's scary. Pretty damn scary if you think about it. Since Miss Kuramochi died that night, many say it's Inari leading her soul away. It's even scarier. Director, this place is crazy. First UFOs and now will-o-wisp. It's like an occult convention. Forget about the UFOs for now. Shiba, are you sure it's not an illusion? Lots of people say they saw it, so I doubt it's a hoax. As Megari and Hitoa shiver in fear, Yagumo crosses his arms. Perhaps inspired by Megari's fear, Yagumo shudders at the thought that there might be some frightening secret lurking in the shadows. When they get up to Taikodani and Ari Shrine, they spot some unexpected faces. Those detectives, right? They're interviewing people? Well, if the investigation's still ongoing, they must have doubts on it being a lover's suicide. If they're interviewing here, then judging by what they saw, they must suspect Sakio Ito. Probably. If only we could get some information about the case out of them. Why don't we try talking to the detectives? Maybe there's some progress in the investigation. Good point. Guess it's worth a shot. The investigation's not over. The detectives must have doubts about something. But what? They tell us things would be a lot easier. Are you interviewing? Huh? You guys again. Small town. We're bound to bump into each other. Anyway, looks like you're still investigating. There are still doubts about the case? Well, that's classified information. We have no obligation to tell civilians. Come on, we solved one mystery together last night, didn't we? We're on the same side. That doesn't mean we can't just divulge classified information. Move along. Doesn't seem like they're willing to talk. The detectives shoo Yagumo away like a dog. I want to get more info out of them, but judging how they were earlier, they probably won't tell me anything if I ask, so... It's no use. Doesn't look like we're getting in for any info out of them. Desperate times call for desperate measures. You got a plan? Well, kinda. Hey, Hitoa. Me? I got a favor to ask you. Huh? Megari whispers into Toa's confused ear. Hitoa is surprised and confused about what she hears, but eventually nods. Excuse me, detectives? Yagumo calls out to the detectives once again, but this time he brings Hitoa with him. You sure are persistent. We're not talking. Keep it up with, and it's obstruction of justice. Well, if the investigation's not over yet, that means we're still suspects and can't freely location scout. Boo-hoo, that's how investigations are. Deal with it. Yeah, now do your civic duty and deal with it. But we're so anxious. Hitoa murmurs anxiously as her eyes tear up. As a big fan of hers, Keishino starts stammering. I feel so uneasy thinking of you two suspecting me. I can't sleep at night. You're fine, Hitoa. I don't see you as a suspect. But if the investigation's not over, that means there's some doubt cast over us, doesn't it? No, there's no doubt cast over you at all. Miss Kuramochi's autopsy found sleeping meds in her system, so we're tracking that down. Thank you. Sleeping medication. Sleeping meds. Yagumo reacts to Keishino's words. Upon realizing what just happened, Misawa elbows Keishino in the gut. Hey, sorry. Hold on. Does that mean there's a possibility that Miss Kuramochi took sleeping meds before the chlorine gas suicide? That's a little strange, but if it was to reduce her suffering and fear, it makes some sense. Is there something more suspicious than that? Who knows? No more questions. Keishino, did anything else happen? Sleeping meds aren't over the counter, so there's a question of where she got them. Don't tell him that, idiot! Ow! Keishino gets hard on the head, and yet Yagumo keeps piling on the questions. Wouldn't make sense to continue investigating on question of the sleep meds alone. Judging by your behavior, detectives, it seems like you're suspecting murder and not suicide. Is there some sort of reason to suspect murder? We're not going to answer that. Now hurry up and get Hey Chanel, what's happening? Well, after last night, we had the toy capsules fingerprinted, and the only prints we could find were Miss Kuramochi's, so... Only prints were Miss Kuramochi's? For the last time... Stop talking already! Ah! The furious detective Misawa spin kicks Keishino flying back. Studio Yagumo quickly retreats. They make it halfway across the corridor and stop when they know the detectives aren't looking. Well done, Hatoa. Glad it worked out, but I feel a little sorry for Keishino. Now, as a result, we got precious info, so it was worth it. Nice idea, Megari. You've grown quite cunning by doing those dirty deeds under my direction. Well, that's business. But could you not call them dirty deeds, especially when you're the one making me do them? But it's the truth. For crying out loud. If the only fingerprints on the capsules were Miss Kuramochi's, what does that mean? If last night's solution to the puzzle is correct, then it makes sense to find Seiya Ito's prints. Maybe the fingerprints washed away with in the aqueduct? Fingerprints are formed with skin oil, so floating in water is not enough to erase them. Which means he made sure not to leave prints. If he did, that would be a little odd. Looks like Hatoi's break is over. Now that the sign is gone, Studio Yagumo enters the clinic. You're all here together? Is someone feeling bad? No, doctor. Just wanted to ask something, relating to Kuramochi and Seiya Ito's death. As soon as Yagumo said that, Hatoya is on guard. That excess caution is enough to convince Yagumo about Hatoya's weakness. And what might that be? I don't think there's much I can answer. Well, I asked earlier about Kuramochi's finger rash. That's some sort of allergy, right? Oh, that? Sorry, but as mentioned, I can't answer that due to confidentiality. It'd be a different story if you were with the police, though. I knew it wouldn't be that easy. In that case, I'm sorry, but you leave me no choice. Dr. Hatoya, are you sure you can't tell us? I'm sorry, but as a doctor, there are rules I must uphold. Oh. Rules you must uphold as a doctor, huh? Well, yeah, doctors have a strict ethical code. Medicinal practitioners have long upheld the Hippocratic Oath, or so I hear. Well, you're well informed, so you know it says, whatever I see or hear in the lives of my patients, I will keep secret, correct? I wish to uphold that part. I see. I do vaguely remember that line, but I also remember this one. I will not give a lethal drug to anyone if asked, nor will I advise such a plan. As soon as Yagumo firmly recites that line, Dr. Hatoya quickly turns pale. Noticing that change, Yagumo carefully chooses his next words as to move in for a checkmate. Let me say that one more time. I will not give a lethal drug to anyone if asked, nor will I advise such a plan. You do uphold that part as well, correct? Of course, what are you trying to imply? Well, you see, it's got a little something to do with Miss Kuramochi's death. Banned from smartphone use, will-o-wisp, sleep medication. Miss Kuramochi's autopsy found sleep medication. It was prescription strength too. In a small town like this, I figure this clinic is the only place to get something like that. Well, the detectives already asked about that, but I already told them that I don't know. Why would I even have a reason to prescribe something like that to Akari? I don't know. I can see you giving her a prescription if she asked. After all. Hatoya liked Akari. You liked her back when she was your classmate, didn't you? Who told you that? Hitoya starts trembling at Yagumo's words. Seeing that as a sign to spring into action, Yagumo keeps talking without answering Hitoya. I understand, even as an adult you still have feelings for her, right? If someone like that begged for a prescription, I wouldn't blame you for giving it to her. Cut it out. I told the police I didn't prescribe it to her. Are you accusing me of false testimony? No, I'm not. Huh? As far as I can tell, you're an upstanding citizen. I don't think you'd lied to the police. Really? Really, but... Do I think you lied? No. Do I think you failed to tell the truth? Possibly. Huh? Even if they don't ask you, and you don't tell, it's no lie. And nothing to feel guilty about either. What are you implying? You didn't hand over the sleep meds to Miss Kuramochi. That part's not a lie. But what if you gave the meds to someone else, and that someone handed it off to her? In other words... I'm thinking it's either the incense or it was mailed inside of a capsule. Kuramochi's pond draws water from the aqueduct. Use that to deliver the meds to someone. I don't understand what you're saying. Who exactly did I deliver them to? Well, Kuramochi? No, not Chiba either. What's wrong? Speak up. If you're gonna spout nonsense, could you please leave? Damn it! Seiya bought sleep incense for his severe asthma. You gave them to Seiya Ito because of his asthma. His asthma was so bad he couldn't sleep. You prescribed the sleep meds to him, didn't you? When you heard Miss Kuramochi's autopsy results from the detectives, you immediately realized the sleep meds were what you prescribed for Seiya Ito. You feared that you contributed to her death, so you conveniently failed to mention that fact to the detectives, didn't you? Got it. What? Accidentally held the skip button. Hitoya droops his shoulders and hangs his head as he slowly murmurs, "Yes, exactly. About a month ago, he said he couldn't sleep, so I prescribed him some nitrazepam. Never thought it would be used in Akari's suicide. If I knew it'd be used like that, I never would have prescribed it. Never." With his head down, Yagumo gently steps up to Hitoya. He places a hand over his shoulder and smiles, as he completely changes his tone. "Dr. Hitoya, there's no need to worry. You just happened to prescribe the sleep meds. That they would have died with or without them. Wasn't your fault, doctor. Not one bit. You think so? Yeah, but we need to reveal the truth of this case, for Akari's sake. And we need your help, Doctor. So, can you tell us about Kuramochi's allergy? Okay." As if hypnotized by Yagumo's gentle tone of voice, Hitoya speaks up. Kuramochi's finger rash was a resin allergy. Yagumo and Hitoya exchange glances. They remain silent as Hitoya continues. "When I was examining him here, I just couldn't figure it out. But I knew it wasn't a bug sting. But an allergy? But to what? It was hard to tell on symptoms alone. How'd you figure it out?" I consulted Kuramochi's personal dentist to see if he knew anything. Apparently he had an allergy patch test to prepare for an early surgery, and it turns out he has a resin allergy. Phrase memorized. Resin allergy? Yeah, they used resin in some dental surgeries. You see, there's no doubt about it. Thank you so much for the info. It's a big help. No problem, but how is it related to the case? You'll find out soon enough, if you'll excuse us. Hitoya looks confused as Studio Yagumo leaves the clinic. Out on the street, Yagumo stretches wide and takes a deep breath. Somehow we managed to get some info out of him. Now that we have proof to back up your theory, Hitoya, well done. Oh? What's wrong? Well, I was just a bit shocked. Aine told me how you'd get when you cross-examine someone, but that was my first time seeing it. Oh. Well, I can't blame you. Kind of intimidating, huh? Even if they haven't done anything wrong, he really pours on the questions. Poor things. Well, it's just a technique to confuse them into revealing the truth. And, I mean, we got the info. Yeah, but after you ran them down with questions, you asked, like, one last gentle question, like a demon. Shut up, I'm not a police officer, and I'm no superhero either, so what does it matter? Someone's getting mad. Anyway, we got the useful info. Now we just need to fit the last puzzle piece. Last puzzle piece? What's that exactly? Yagumo grins. The UFO, that's what. Huh? Wait, I thought you didn't believe in it. Well, I just realized that's the most important key to this case was the UFO. Let's check it out now. Ignoring the girl's dumbfounded looks, Yagumo triumphantly marches away. Alright, but I think we'll do that next time. But, yeah, thanks for watching and see you guys next time. Bye.